So my question for you, Jenny, is you've been trading for over 6 years, right? And I know you share with us from time to time your journey. And I think it's interesting because like once we get our rules and then we get settled in our rules, sometimes the temptation to go against the rules comes in. So can you share like how you personally combat that? Where it's like you see something, you're like, man, I know, or I have a strong inclination, like on the 1 minute something's gonna happen. My goal is to keep my behind off the 1 minute, even though I like it sometimes and I can see what's going to happen, but to stay on the 5 minute. But anyway, just out of curiosity, wanted to see how you combat that. Or if you just say, hey, I've just been doing this long enough that I'm just going to go with it and just see what happens.
That's actually a really good question. So I would define that as like squirrel syndrome, right? But I think it's goes far beyond just time frames. Time frames is part of the problem though. I think time frames are just as equally bad as other strategies sometimes because like take what we were talking about in terms of that other system that shows all the time frames. If I can't find the move I want on the one, you better believe I'm gonna find it on one of these. And if that's how I'm trading, I'm always going to be the word I'm thinking is gambling. There's probably a better word choice there, but I'm always going to be finding what I want, like the bias kind of concept where I have this bias. I'm going to go prove that that bias is there. So I can't see it here. I'm going to see it here. I'm going to see it here. I'm going to see it here. Okay, cool. Now I can take the trade I want. Woo! And we do that to ourselves all the time. I good question. So first off, I guess time frames is a whole separate topic, but I think it is equally part of the problem. But so are other systems and strategies and stuff. I still will, for example, I've got below here all a bunch of tools open, like for example, harmonic patterns and things like that. One of the things I do to keep myself in alignment is I consider confluence versus my rules, right? So if it has a harmonic pattern, that's a piece of confluence I can add to my already pre-existing reasons I will take this trade, right? If it has, let's use the ocean wave theory. Let's say the ocean wave indicator is saying that all of this is alignment. I can add that too as a piece of confluence with my already existing rules. But I'm using it as confluence in addition to, not in replacement of. And I think that helps me stay in alignment in terms of hopping from, well, I'll take this, I'll take this, I'll take this, I'll take this, I'll take this. And that's just in terms of like strategies and concepts and candle formations and things of that nature. That helps me a lot. Is treating it like confluence and not an entry signal. Number one. Number two, the time frame thing. I think it's really messy for people too. When I said earlier, I will go to the 1 or the 5 minute a couple times a week and play. I do that and I'll take my trades. I'll take, most times it's not more than 5 or 6. Usually you start to get in your head too much, in my opinion. I get in my head too much for me. 5, 6 in a row, winning or losing. And I'm like, okay, that was a lot of straight screen time of me staring at every candle. It's enough, right? But that's why I have different accounts for different things. So I've got the one to test account though, where I'll test a lot of different things on there. But other than like the test accounts, this account is where I take all my 1 hour managed trade. This account is where I'm doing that 4 hour thing that we do on YouTube. This account is where I'm testing these things out. This is like my bill pay account. This is my Dragonfly account. This is my testing other EAs account, right? Testing different settings and parameters and builds, right? And I'll take some things in there. But I really separate those out by account. Number one helps. I separate the different strategies and concepts and candle formations out as confluence. That helps. And then by account, it's all by time frame. So it's still not a perfect answer, but it does help me stay reasonably regulated because you guys have known me long enough to know that I am the queen of squirrel brain. Like I am guilty as charged, okay? Guilty as charged of squirrel brain. And that, like we were talking about with the challenge, and the whole purpose of the challenge was some oversight, some accountability. And some of us don't think we need it. Maybe we're a little more bold or cocky or confident. And I mean that with love. God knows we all have those parts of us. But I promise you, a little bit of oversight or accountability to somebody to say, wait, you did not do this on the 5 minute. You think you did this, but you did 12 on the 1 hour, 2 on the 15, 1 on the 30, 1 on the day, and 6 on the 5. And you're wondering why. Because those are going to manage differently, especially if you're using something like the ATM. Or, hey, you think you did this all with the golden strategy, but 7 out of 25 of your trades did not line up with those rules. So what were you doing? 7 out of 25 is a lot, guys. It's a lot. It's a big percentage of your trades, but 7 doesn't seem like that much when it's just you behind your computer screen. Well, I only took a few that way. It's fine. I only took a few that way. It's no, we're good. I promise we're good. No, 7 out of 25 trades is a lot. It's too big of a portion of your basket of trades. And now you don't have data. You don't know what's working. You don't have accurate, well, I win 30% or 60% or 70% of the time. You don't have anything to go off of because you've been all over the darn place. So those are some of the things I do is different account for different reasons. Number one, treat some of those extra pieces of information as quote extra pieces of information. So if you have a trade journal, let's say you have one account that you're doing the fractal strategy on, right? And then one account you're doing like the gold strategy with some other things, right? So make your spreadsheet that says rule one, rule two, rule three, or whatever those are. It must have this, it must have this. And then you check those off. And then you can create other columns that says it also has a double top. It also has a harmonic pattern. It also is sitting at a key level on the daily. Like, so you can have those other pieces of extra information, confluence information, and everything that goes in the confluence pile for me would be like, hey, Jenny agrees. That would go in the confluence. It would not be my decision making process. And I did that even with IML and all the people who I worked with then too. Is I started to not say, well, Dr. Spiller said as my reason to get in, but I put the Dr. Spiller said as my extra confluence sections. So now Dr. Spiller said, and it's sitting at this weekly, and it's got a harmonic, and it's got the third wave of an Elliott wave pattern confirmed and defined, and it's sitting at this key Fibonacci level, and whatever. I put that all in the and category, not the entry category. So that hopefully helps. Hopefully helps you.
Yes, thank you.